Earth has many strange places that have been discovered over the centuries. In today's video, I will be talking about my top 4 unordinary locations. Number 4, the Hang Son Dong Mountain River Cave in Vietnam. This is the largest cave in the world by volume. It is believed to be 2 to 5 million years old and sits near the Laos-Vietnam border. A subterranean river flows through it and is responsible for the erosion that carved out so much space. The entrance to the cave was found on December 10, 1990, by a local man while searching for agar wood, a valuable timber. Although he initially went to investigate further, he was discouraged upon approach by the sound of rushing water and the strong wind issuing from the entrance. Not thinking it to be of any great importance, by the time he returned to his home, he had forgotten the exact location of the entrance. Later, he mentioned his discovery in passing to 2 members of the British Cave Research Association who were exploring in the local area. They asked him to attempt to rediscover the entrance, which he eventually managed to do in 2008. And in 2009, he led an expedition back to the entrance of the cave. This expedition, conducted between April 10th and April 14th of 2009, the progress in exploring the cave's full length was stopped by a large 60-meter-high flowstone-coated wall, which the expedition named the Great Wall of Vietnam. The expedition returned in March 2010 and successfully traversed the wall, which allowed the explorers to reach the end of the cave path. It is more than 5 kilometers long, 200 meters high, and 150 meters wide. Its cross-section is believed to be twice that of the next largest passage, in Deer Cave, Malaysia. Inside, there are areas where the ceiling of the cave has collapsed. This allows sunlight to enter sections of the cave, resulting in the growth of trees and other vegetation. By mid-2019, the cave was found to be connected by its underground river with a nearby cave called Hang Thung. This increases the potential volume of the cave by more than 1,600,000 cubic meters. Also, the cave contains some of the tallest known stalagmites in the world, which are up to 80 meters tall. Behind the Great Wall of Vietnam were found cave pearls the size of baseballs, an abnormally large size. The cave's interior is so large that it could fit an entire New York block inside, including skyscrapers, or could have a Boeing 747 fly through it without its wings touching either side. In early August 2013, the first tourist group explored the cave on a guided tour at a cost of $3,000 US. Permits are required to access the cave and are made available on a limited basis from January to August. After August, heavy rains caused by river levels to rise, making the cave largely inaccessible. Socotra. Socotra is an island off of Yemen. It is unusual in hosting a large number of species that are endemic. A third of its plant life is found nowhere else on Earth. Due to the island's unusual geography, it has been described as the most alien-looking place on Earth. The island measures 132 kilometers in length and 42 kilometers across at its widest. It features dramatic landscapes like white sand dunes, limestone plateaus, and mountains. The island has several native bats and shrews, including the Austrasian shrew, which is the smallest mammal in the world by mass. Socotra has experienced a steady decline of plant diversity over the past several decades. Its native flora are vital for the survival of endemic fauna. Several factors, such as erosion, extreme weather events, and overgrazing, may be responsible for this decline. Intensified winds due to rising global temperatures threaten Socotra's old-growth forest. Traditional land management, which has been practiced by indigenous people on Socotra for thousands of years, is becoming less widespread as the island becomes more influenced by the outside world. Increasing populations of invasive species, such as rats and cats, also threaten the endemic flora and fauna. Species on Socotra have evolved in very particular climate conditions, and their ranges are very restricted, making them highly vulnerable to climate change. Without intervention, many of the island's endemic species may face extinction, including potentially numerous cryptic species that have yet to be formally described. When it comes to people and civilizations on the island, there were a few over the decades and centuries. Initially, there was an Old Dowan lithic culture on Socotra. Old Dowan stone tools were found in the area around Hadebo in 2008. These tools were used during a period spanning from 2.9 million years ago up until at least 1.7 million years ago by ancient hominins. There's a cave on the island that contains a large number of inscriptions, drawings, and archaeological objects. Further investigation shows that these have been left by sailors who visited the island between the 1st century BC and the 6th century AD. The island is culturally and administratively a part of Yemen, but geographically it belongs to Africa, for it represents a continental fragment that is geologically linked to the Somali Plate. This island is known for its exceptional level of endemism, with about 37% of its plant species, 90% of its reptile species, and 95% of its land snail species found nowhere else on Earth. Yellowstone National Park, Wyoming, USA. This park is known for its wildlife and its many geothermal features, especially the Old Faithful Geyser, one of the most popular. While it represents many types of biomes, subalpine forest is the most abundant. It is part of the South Central Rockies Forest ecoregion. While Native Americans have lived in the Yellowstone region for at least 11,000 years, aside from visits by mountain men during the early to mid-19th century, organized exploration did not begin until the late 1860s. Yellowstone National Park spans an area of 3,468 square miles, with a large variety of lakes and ponds, canyons, rivers, and mountain ranges. Yellowstone Lake is one of the largest high-elevation lakes in North America and covers part of the Yellowstone caldera, the largest supervolcano on the continent. This caldera is considered a dormant volcano. It has erupted with tremendous force twice in the last 2 million years. Well over half of the world's geysers and hydrothermal features are in Yellowstone, fueled by this ongoing volcanism. Lava flows and rock from volcanic eruptions cover most of the land area of Yellowstone. The park is the centerpiece of the Greater Yellowstone ecosystem, the largest remaining nearly intact ecosystem in the Earth's northern temperate zone. Hundreds of species of mammals, birds, fish, reptiles, and amphibians have been documented, including several that are either endangered or threatened. The vast forests and grasslands also include unique species of plants. Yellowstone Park is the largest and most famous megafauna location in the contiguous United States. The park is inhabited by grizzly bears, cougars, wolves, and free-ranging herds of bison and elk. The Yellowstone Park bison herd is the oldest and largest public bison herd in the United States. Forest fires occur in the park each year. In the large forest fires of 1988, over one-third of the park was burnt. Yellowstone has numerous recreational opportunities, including hiking, camping, boating, fishing, and sightseeing. Paved roads provide close access to the major geothermal areas as well as some of the lakes and waterfalls. During the winter, visitors often access the park by way of guided tours that use either snow coaches or snowmobiles. Mariana Trench. The Mariana Trench is an oceanic trench located in the western Pacific Ocean, about 200 kilometers east of the Mariana Islands. It is the deepest oceanic trench on Earth. It is crescent-shaped and measures about 2,500 kilometers in length and about 69 kilometers in width. The maximum known depth is about 10,900 meters. At the southern end of a small slot-shaped valley in its floor known as the Challenger Deep. This makes the deepest point in the trench more than 2 kilometers farther from sea level than the peak of Mount Everest. At the bottom of the trench, the water column above exerts a pressure of 1,086 bar, approximately 1,071 times the standard atmospheric pressure at sea level. An expedition in 1960 claimed to have observed with great surprise the high-pressure, large creatures living at the bottom, such as flatfish. Many marine biologists are now skeptical of the supposed sighting of the flatfish, as it is suggested that the creature may instead have been a sea cucumber. During the second expedition in 1996, the uncrewed vehicle collected mud samples from the seabed. Tiny organisms were found to be living in those samples. During the second expedition in 1996, the uncrewed vehicle collected mud samples from the seabed. Tiny organisms were found to be living in those samples. In July 2011, a research expedition deployed untethered landers called drop cams equipped with digital video cameras and lights to explore this deep-sea region. Among many other living organisms, some gigantic single-celled animals called xenophyophores with a size of more than 10 centimeters belonging to the class of monothalamia were observed. These organisms, the largest known cells, can withstand high levels of heavy metals. Using these drop cams, jellyfish and other organisms were observed. In December 2014, a new species of snailfish was discovered at a depth of 8,145 meters, breaking the previous record for the deepest living fish seen on video. During the 2014 expedition, several new species were filmed, including huge amphipods known as supergiants. Deep-sea gigantism is the process where species grow larger than their shallow water relatives. In May 2017, the newly named Mariana snailfish from 2014 was filmed at a depth of 8,178 meters. Like other oceanic trenches, the Mariana Trench has been proposed as a site for nuclear waste disposal in the hope that tectonic plate subduction occurring at the site might eventually push the nuclear waste deep into the Earth's mantle, the second layer of the Earth. In 1979, Japan planned to dump low-level nuclear waste near Mung in the northern Marianas. However, ocean dumping of nuclear waste is prohibited by international law. Furthermore, plate subduction zones are associated with very large megathrust earthquakes, the effects of which are unpredictable for the safety of long-term disposal of nuclear waste within this ecosystem. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow for more content like this. Thanks. Have a great day.